Again, a beautiful point, right? I plan a lot the night before. I start preparing in the morning for 1 or 2 hours. And just after 1 or 2 hours, the moment I start preparing, I lose my track. And then I start watching the reels or other social media things or YouTube video, that I lose the day. Now, that's something which is very, very important. Most of the toppers or most of the people who do well in entrance exams are not so active on the social media. Many of them do not have an account. I'm not saying that delete it today, but what I'm saying is understand this point. I usually do not take interviews of toppers, but I talk to students who don't clear. And I find a contrast between the interviews which are taken by my friends, my seniors, my colleagues, and the discussions I have with the people who don't talk is the word, the focus. So focus and distractions. People take it as two opposite words. They're not opposite words. If you can watch reels for hours and enjoy, and if somebody asks you, "Kya tune ye reel dekhi hai?" you can tell that, because that's your interest. You can remember that. They enjoyed it. Either there was humor, there was motivation, or there was something which you loved it, right? But when it comes to focusing the same number of hours on study, you find it so very difficult. Why? Because this is what it is. If you watch Pushpa is a combination of multiple reels. It keeps you engaged throughout the time. When you ask what is the summary of the movie, you don't know the answer. What's the story? You don't know the answer. But then there's multiple reels coming together and they keep you engaged throughout 3.5 hours. All right? And this is what you need to understand. The output of these reels is nothing. It doesn't take you anywhere except it consumes your hours. So if you can understand reels, then you have the capacity and capability. If you have a capability, increase your capacity to focus. And if you can focus, you can kill distractions. Now you have to understand, you took focus as something as a gift and distraction as an animosity. It's not. When it's focused on a direction, the distraction decreases. You do not feel like doing it. Now the same reels you will decide to see for 5 to 7 minutes a day for rejuvenating your brain, and then you will know where to move out. And here comes a beautiful thing, microplanning. One of my students was All India ranked 32. And right, he had a very simple thought. Right in the morning, start with revision what you did a day before. Why? Because this is something you don't have to struggle. It will come as natural thing to you a day before, and you will also know जो आपने एक दिन पढ़ा, पहले पढ़ा वो आपको कितना grasp है, कितना याद है. So this is something which is very, very important. Revision. Next he said was take up a topic. This topic, because it's a fresh morning, read yourself. So it's an active recall. Try to read yourself. Then listen to something. Because as the day goes down, you need to listen to something. So there's a passive recall. And then attempt MCQs, because during the afternoon hours, attempt MCQs or see images, depends upon what you want to do. This is something which keeps you engaging and you will develop a habit of doing it. Go for a walk and again redo it. Now this is what is important. Set small targets. Keep ticking them. Rather than planning the whole day, plan 1 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, 2 hour. And if this is the way you do, the distractions don't creep in. My suggestion is, rather than just picking up your phone anytime, have a time where you want to see the thing and get away with it. I say that watching or keeping half a day every week free for you helps you tide over many difficult distractions the whole day. You know that Wednesday evening, for example, is free for me. I will be focusing on the entire 6.5 days and not lose anything, and then enjoy that half day. It has never hurted anybody. And that's important. So you have to behave like a human being. For example, this boot camp that's going on, right? One of the singers topped one of the grand tests. And that's what I told the students, you can be doing what you love and still study very well. You just don't have to leave everything, but then there has to be a balance, right? So I spoke to rank 1 NEET this time, and he told me a very simple thing. So I do not waste too much time on social media. So I said, even if you would have done, would it have affected your rank? He said, sir, 1 ka 50,000 chale jata. I said, 1 ka 50,000? He said, yes, sir. My father tells me 100% attempt is 100% result. 99% attempt is 0 result. And that is why it's true. Majority of, right, the balls are caught on the boundary. Remember, Sky, who caught the World Cup for us, the T20 World Cup for us, on the boundary, stepped across the boundary and came back and grasped the ball. And that's what you need to understand. My friends, 100% hota hai, nahi hota hai. And that's why in year 1 you are taught all or none phenomena. So it's all or none. Imagine tomorrow is your exam. You will give your 100% today, but you waste today because your exam is going to be later, but this wasted day is going to hurt you later. So take each day as if next day is your exam. I value it like this because it's the reverse counting which is important. And if you do not value that, you will be rejected in this exam of rejection, because majority are rejected, only 3% are selected. It will either cost you your branch or cost you your college or your city. It's so important, isn't it? Why do you wish to live for a second chance? Why do you want to give for one more attempt? Why not to prepare with your whole heart? Why not to do a proper planning? And that's where comes the theme. Plan a night before. हम लोग कोई मूवी देखने जाते हैं, हम उसकी भी सीट बुक करते हैं, हम साथ में पॉपकॉर्न और कोक भी बुक करते हैं, पूछते भी है तू क्या खाएगी, तू क्या खाएगा, राइट? बट अपने एग्जाम के टाइम पे हम ऐसा नहीं करते. उस टाइम पे वी आर ओके विद इट. ठीक है ना यार, पूरा दिन पढ़ाया, ऐसा नहीं होता. Because there are 3,000 to 5,000 students who are actually planning this a day before. And you know what? Second point, start strong. If you don't start strong, you're not going to finish well. It's very, very important. Good start is half finish. Get ready, gear up. Let the first 1 or 2 hours, and that's why I remember rank 32 All India rule. First 1 hour, do revision of one prior day. This way you're doing an extra revision the whole year. And that's what counts. What I want to tell you, friends, that if you plan for something and for 1 or 2 hours you did something and then you lost to social media. Social media is the biggest enemy today. It's going to eat away a lot of careers. Remember one law of projection. If you escalate your preparation to a level which is above the level of clearing an exam, remember what I'm telling you. Law of projection says if you stimulate a nerve anywhere along the path, you can't stimulate a nerve, you can stimulate a receptor. If you stimulate a nerve which is damaged, so you stimulate a damaged nerve. You can't stimulate a physiologically damaged nerve. The law of projection says if you stimulate an anatomically damaged nerve anywhere along the path, you can't stimulate a myelinated nerve. It has to be demyelinated nerve. Law of projection says if you can stimulate an anatomically damaged demyelinated nerve anywhere along the path, the brain will perceive the stimulus is coming from the receptor. Even if the receptor does not exist in the body, the brain will perceive that it's going to hit there. That's called as phantom limb. Somebody's limb is gone, even then the pain is felt at the distal extremity. And that's what is the law of projection in entrance exam. If you cross a certain level of preparation, your answers will come to you in an auto mode if you know how to revise them. And that's why there comes the key point. The calamities that happen. आपका बीमार होना, घर में किसी और का बीमार होना, किसी का आना या जाना चलता रहेगा. But if you cross that bar of clearing entrance exams, if you project yourself to beyond it, you're going to have the radiation till the end. Your results are going to shoot up like anything. So this is very, very important. All or none. 100% leads 100% result. 99% leads 0% result. Cross that bar which sets the selection bar, so that even if there is something unfortunate happening, your results are not affected. And remember one thing, we have to fight the social media distraction. They are our biggest enemies. Majority of the toppers don't stick to that. What I wish to tell you is, plan a night before, because if you don't plan well, you fail well. Thank you very much.